All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to start off by giving all praises and blessings to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect men pushing this word in all truth, in all sincerity, risking life and livelihood in so doing, especially in these days and times. All right? Now, these people are not moving on the men of the Lord. They're not moving on brothers yet. Okay, they're not outright physically moving. Now Esau, he's being cut to the core. So his little cronies, they're popping up and doing things at camp because they're pretty much cut. Okay, they're cut in the spirit. All right. But the higher ups of Esau have not decided to move in. Okay. So they're, once they get ready to spring this net, this MOTB, all right, once they get ready to forward that system, they are going to move in, all right, and then the MOTB will be implemented. But we're not politicians. We don't sway or have any dealings with politics. All right. We just we're just watchmen. Okay, seeing what's talked about, what's going on. So the name of this video is pretty much going to be Esau is a thief perfected. Okay. So you can't never forget that the so-called white man, his beginnings, this whole battle is because he wants to do away with the crime that he committed. That's why, you got Neuro Trump in office right now, and what he's in office trying to do is, he got caught, doing whatever he was doing, and now he wants to away, because he has a felon, he's a felon. All right. So he wants to away with his criminal history. And that's the same thing these Edomites want to do. See, they want to away with their criminal history because now, look, you're not so white anymore. Okay, you're not white anymore. As we go, these retarded, crack baby, plantation, you know babies. All right, get older. All right, and grow under Esau's system. You're gonna see, how Esau has kept the ball out of your hand, and you love this devil. Okay, don't get mad now because you're not about to get your stamps. You love this devil, and you're gonna continue to love this devil. All right, you're gonna continue to. Okay, now we're not telling you to go do anything, to anyone, but you have to understand the nature of a creature in order to respect it. Okay. See, Esau doesn't have any fear of Jake right now because we haven't got that spiritual power yet. See, he animals he respects, and he doesn't respect animals. He hunts them, he kills them for fun, for sports. Okay, and that's what you Jakes are. You Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You're animals to this man. All right. But we're telling you that he is a even worse animal. Okay, he's a snake. Okay, when it's referencing the serpent or a snake, it's in reference to Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, okay? A lot of you are putting this on a fictional character called the devil, and you got hell going on. You got, Israelites teaching the hell doctrine. You guys better get the hell out of there, man. Okay? But even you Israelites, your dress, your skirt is going to be pulled up over your heads, man. Okay? There ain't going to be no peach down there, man. Okay, it's going to be some junk hanging, and you're going to look like the sissies that you are, man. So, I'm going to be going in a little bit on these couple of little videos. I'm going to get some scriptures, all right? But first, we like to take the temperature of the people, okay? And so, things are being found out, okay? A lot of things are being found out behind the scenes, okay? So, like I said at first, my first video, you go back, when I said Trump wouldn't send the National Guard into Chicago because crime in Chicago is what gets these politicians paid. Okay, the guns, the drugs, it's just a greedy, all out, okay, smorgasbord for politicians. Okay, like I said, when I was growing up, I was pretty much forced into, selling drugs, and, it's not that I didn't want a job or, to work a job. I definitely did. But the only means that was available to making money was things that were in the street. Okay? So, and everything is through Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. These paths, okay? The Lord knows your heart, your true intentions, who you really are. Okay? So, we put on a facade, but the Lord is going to reveal who we truly are, okay? And who he truly is, because he's the one who's dealing with you and working with you, all right? So, the cat is out of the bag pretty much on these politicians, especially here in Chicago, all right? So, I'm going to let this woman speak. I'm going to listen to a little bit what she has to say. But keep in mind, all right, when you're watching this video, that Esau, the so-called white man, he can't really call himself white anymore because he is dirty as fuck. He's filthy. Okay? He's filthy. He is a thief. Okay, we're gonna go in and show you how much of a filthy, low, lying thief this damn devil is, man. The so-called white man, his women, his children, they're all thieves, liars, and murderers. Okay? So I'm gonna let this woman now, she's gonna point the finger at Jake, at the mayor of Chicago. All right, but the truth of the matter is you so-called black women. Okay? You are the problem, not the mayor. You raise these individuals who have destroyed these neighborhoods. I've seen it. Okay? It's not like I haven't been there. I've been there, seen it. All right? So I'm going to let her talk, get some scriptures. But keep in mind Esau. Okay? Keep in mind Esau. Now, I haven't even heard this, but, keep in mind Esau. Let me see if I can go back on it. There it goes.
I heard Mayor Brandon Johnson say that the sentiment in the black community is waning. A lie. The sentiment is not waning. We're not okay with you taking our resources and giving them to people who don't live here. As Mark stated before, you're preparing housing for them. One of the reasons that the city of Chicago was able to close 50 schools was because of the black flight. And the reason we had a black flight was because there's no affordable housing in this city. It is because the city of Chicago shut down the voucher system so that blacks who needed to get affordable housing could not. So they had no choice but to flee to other states. But now you found money for the migrants.
That's right.
We're calling foul. And then another thing you said was that the faith-based leaders were helping to bring around the sentiment. We haven't paid attention to faith-based leaders since Dr. Martin Luther King. And guess what? We're not listening to them now. We understand that they are bought and paid for. We understand that you control the narrative that they are trying to speak about. So let me just say this to you. We're not listening to them the same way we're not listening to you. What you're doing is not okay.
Okay, so there you have it. Okay, now the first thing we're going to address, and guess what? This black woman, she speaks for all of the black women across the board. Remember, I told you these welfare queens and these lowlives. Okay, they get a mic and a camera in front of their face and they spew their madness. But what she's telling is the exact truth, and this is the sentiment. Okay. The Christian church has failed the black community miserably. They see it. Okay, a lot of you Israelites, the IUICs, you know, to begin with, the Israels of God, you have failed the so-called black community. Okay, you've not put the woman in her place. Okay, and you're not attempting to. All right. You're just like the church. Okay, you're just like the Christian church. And so, first, okay, this woman says that she's under the impression that slaves have resources. You know, the reason that they brought you damn niggas here to America, let me make this clear and say this again, okay? You were brought here to serve slavery, okay? Go to the curses in Deuteronomy, all right? You were brought here to serve slavery, okay? For going off, all right? And Esau, okay? He took you away from your land. Now, the dilemma with a lot of these Edomites, they wanted to send you back to Africa. But the Edomites in the South, the industrial industry was beginning to emerge, and so they saw a need for you to, to work in the factories, okay, because you Jakes, they understood your mentality. Okay, you had that plantation mentality, all right, and all it, and they saw that you had Stockholm syndrome. Now look up Stockholm syndrome, and I'm talking about your ancestors. Now you modern day Jakes, you're beyond doubt, all right. No, you're beyond doubt, all right, and I mean all right, that little furry animal, okay, with the black eyes, all right. So let me get a scripture real quick. Because she said she thinks that, and a lot of you Jakes, you think that you have resources. You have no resources. Okay? Psalms 148 and 13. It says, let them praise the name of the Lord. The only resource you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans have, and I said it once, I'll say it again. The only resource that you have here in Babylon the Great, in America, is the name of the Lord, Yahweh Wa Yahweh Shah Wa Raha Kwadash. That's the only resource that you have here in America. Okay? You were brought here as slaves intentionally. Now, in the ancient world, you put a country under slavery. You don't, you know, and Esau doesn't show you this. In the ancient times, you put a country under slavery, a whole country. Okay? You don't, make a country of people who are slaves. And that's what they've done here in America, Babylon the Great, because Esau, he has, he didn't have the wisdom, man. He was reading, he learned, he saw what happened in Egypt. He tried to repeat it here in America. That's why America is Egypt again spiritually, but it's also Babylon and all the other captivities again here in America. And so you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you're brought here, okay, into a land, okay, with no resources. So now this welfare queen, okay, she thinks that the Chicago public schools and vouchers, and she thinks that those are resources for black people alone. You see? It's not her fault because she is a student of the public fool system. She's a student of American politics. All right? Look up the word politics. All right? To put it simply, okay? To simply put it, the word tick is in the word. And what is a tick? A parasitic bug. Okay? Then the word poly meaning what? Many. Okay? A tick is a blood-sucking insect that gives you sickness and disease. Simply put. And that's what happens when you step into the arena of politics. And that's why she called out pretty much the Christian church and all those others church organizations, because these people know that these Bible pushing organizations, the church, and whether it's Islam, they know that they're bought and paid off, so they're not listening to them. And that's why crime is rising now. All right. That's why you have these women and people behaving with no moral integrity. They're under the assumptions that, and a lot of people from C to C of the Israelites are under the impression that somewhere here in America, Babylon is resources for them, and it's not. People are singing a song about building wealth. It's a fucking dream. It was all a dream. It's a dream. Okay? And when you do find an individual who rises up, that's a person who's been set up from the scraps to rise up. And I'm going to show you. Shit.
Many areas. Over in the agricultural space, rice is a huge source of emissions, and there's new ideas about genetics and direct seeding. With cows, you can vaccinate them, change the genetics. And so I'd say there's probably 20 areas that if you want to help in climate innovation,
All Things Bugs. That is a company sponsored by Bill Gates, funded by Bill Gates and the Department of Defense and the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency that is coming out with insect-based foods. I'm going to say it again. Insect-based foods. Cricket protein powder, worm-based ravioli.
Man, stop playing.
I'm so serious, brother. I need y'all to put up on the screen if you can. All Things Bugs. I'm just letting y'all know how far this is going, which is why we have to separate from the system. And when you say separate, it's in stages, it's in degrees.
Could I just see your digital ID before you pour that?
Sorry?
It's for the sugar allowance, 1 glass per person. I just need to scan your ID.
I don't have one.
You don't have a digital ID?
No.
Right, I'm going to have to let the police know.
For breaching the Health Protection Act, you are sentenced to 10 years imprisonment. Take him down.
No! Please! It was just 1 glass of Coke! I'm sorry! She's burning up. She can barely stand. You have to get her seen now. I understand your worry, but she's not registered for a brick card. Without it, we can't admit her under NHS care.
Your digital ID has been flagged for incitement.
Society is a Black Skulls and Bones organization that started on May 15th, 1904 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, with Rockefeller money, of course, through John D. Rockefeller. And it was John D. Rockefeller who created the term the talented 10th, that 1 out of 10 African American men and women would be chosen by the system in order to represent not the masses of Black people or the Black diaspora, but to represent the system that has put them into an enslavement to this very day. Ule Seeker Society is a Black Skulls and Bones organization that started on May 15th, 1904 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, with Rockefeller money, of course, through John D. Rockefeller. And it was John D. Rockefeller who created the term the talented 10th, that 1 out of 10 African American men and women would be chosen money.
John D. Rockefeller. Okay. John D. Rockefeller. Okay, they had an understanding, okay, that they were going to keep you as perpetual slaves. And this is the history that they want to do away with. Okay? They came up, and guess what? The system has not changed. The people running around calling themselves white people today, oh, we didn't own slaves. You own the system. You are a part of the system that continues to push this this form of slavery. All right, this form of oppression. Okay, it's oppression. All right, and like I was saying, hey, they put up one individual. All right, and this one individual is supposed to represent, okay, all of you jakes, okay? You jakes who have no resources, okay? Again, your only resource is in the name of Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Wa Raha HaKodash, all right?
Rockefeller money, of course, through John D. Rockefeller. And it was John D. Rockefeller who created the term the talented 10th, that 1 out of 10 African American men and women would be chosen by the system in order to represent not the masses of Black people or the Black diaspora, but to represent the system that has put them into an enslavement to this very day. Ule Seeker Society is
okay. The system, and the same system so-called white people have benefited from. Okay? Just because of your skin. All right? Now, I'm not going to say who is a white person, who's not, who may be. If you're not teaching this word, if you're not pushing this word, okay, well then you're a devil, okay, and you're gonna die here in Babylon the Great, okay. If you're not coming out, standing up, okay, making your life a living sacrifice for this truth.